Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today I will be reviewing the new Tiny Treasures eyeshadow palettes from CATRICE. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. In today's video, I will be reviewing the 3 new baby palettes from CATRICE from their Spring-Summer 2025 collection. We have a 6-pan neutrally one, a pinky toned one, and this warm toned one, and I will be putting every single one of them on my face for you so you can see how these perform once you start applying them with brushes. This is the look that I've created with the Tiny Treasures in Everyday Essentials, which is the neutrally one, and I'm just going to show you looks with all 3 of these and insert all the swatches so you can hear all of my thoughts on whether I think these Tiny Treasures eyeshadow palettes are just as good or possibly better than the 5-in-a-box that they used to do previously. So I was already in the midst of filming this video, I thought, but then I found out I had forgotten to hit record, so I already did the first look, but I'll redo it in a second so you can see what I actually did. But I just wanted to show you these 3 palettes. When I did my first impression video in January, a lot of people said yes to doing a spin-off video where I try all 3 of these for you. So that's what this video is. I did already show you swatches of these in my first impressions video, but finger swatches and eyeshadow I feel aren't necessarily a match made in heaven. It's when you apply them to the face that you will actually know how things actually perform. And I mentioned in the intro that I sort of want to see how good these are, because previously CATRICE did the 5-in-a-box palettes, and when they first launched those, they did some very similar palettes that looked almost identical to this. I still have mine, but they have definitely been changing the formula of these, and I think that's why they've reformulated. So the Tiny Treasures in 010 Everyday Essentials is the more neutrally one. Then they also do 020 Wild Berry, which is this pinky toned one with a really nice gray. So I think this can be great for everyone who loves cool tones. And then if you like your spicy things, 030 Heated Up is what we're going to be doing at the end of this video. So those 3 eyeshadow palettes are going to be in review. And as I said, I was already in the midst of what I thought was filming this video, but I had forgotten to press that record button. I don't know what's gotten into me lately. I've been doing this so much where I turn on the camera and then I think I'm filming and then I haven't hit record. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I don't want to sort of like have to redo this entire video. So I was like, I'll film my intro, take this off so you can see how I created this look with the Everyday Essentials. It's just a look where I use all 6 of these shades, and that's what I'm going to do with this. If you want in-depth insight in how I like to put an eyeshadow look together, like technically, then I would like to refer you to my video that I posted on Tuesday, because that's where I did an in-depth tutorial of how I like to do my eyeshadow. This is going to focus more so on the product, so I'm just going to do each look and then come back to you with how well things blended, and I will speed you through the creation of the eye look itself, because I'm going to have to do this 3 times and essentially do the same thing every single time, so that's not that interesting to watch, I think. So let me create a look for you with the Everyday Essentials. So the advantage of already having filmed this before is that I now have a little bit of a feel for the formula, so it worked a little bit better for me to do this a second time around. This is really pretty. I like especially how this matte in the top blended. It's what I used in the crease. It diffused really nicely. I do find though that on this eye, I'm not sure if you can see, it's a little bit darker and I can't really blend it out. So it's like I get this dark patch and it stays. So it is formula that seems to like grab onto things and then it won't move. So if you're someone who likes doing your eyeshadow with a tacky base, I'm not sure you're gonna like this product. I used a little bit of this black shade as liner on the top lash line, used the dark brown on the lower lash line, which worked perfectly. The shimmers are what's the letdown for me here. They need fingers to be activated properly. And I don't love that. I want to be able to build up an eyeshadow first with a brush so that I can determine the placement a little bit more carefully and actually know what I would like to do. And that's really tough with these. Like even this inner corner highlight, when I went in with my pinky, it looked so much more intense. With the brush, I just got sparkle and I didn't get much of the actual base color, which is a bit of a shame. And I just used this lighter beigey tone to blend out the top just a little bit to give it a little bit more play. So far, based on just this one, I'm like, probably not my favorite. I think I still like the 5 in a box just a little bit better. But if you like very intense shimmers, I do think these shimmers are really nicely intense if you don't mind using fingers, because they do look pretty once they're on. Is this my favorite color story? No. Sadly, the main shimmer you get in here, which is this like brassy color, it's just this orangey yellow tone. That's just not very flattering on me. Can I pull it on because I have brown eyes? Yes, but it's not my favorite. Time to move on to the second shade. This is 020 Wild Berry. And as I mentioned, I think you might like this if you like cool tones. What I don't like about the look of this is that some of these pinky tones look really, really vibrant. Like these aren't your like nice dusty pinks, and it is quite vibrant shades, especially this matte here and also that shimmer in the middle. Like if that does what the goldeny tone did in the previous palette, then I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna love this. And then I also think the gray is going to be too light to go with this. So this probably would have really been helped by a deep plum rather than this muted gray shade to pull the entire look together. I think that would have worked better in this palette overall, because now it just looks very mid-toned. And where the other shade, like the other palette has a really nice deep shade that you can use as a liner or to really do a nice smoky eye, this doesn't have that option. So that makes this one less versatile than the other two, I think. So let me just throw this on to see how I feel about this one. And next up is the Wild Berry palette, and this is pretty. It is objectively pretty. I just like the issues that I pointed out at the start before I sat down to film the look. I'm really missing that deeper plum shade instead of the gray to really make this like a little bit more smoky and stuff like that, because that would have suited this really well. The deepest shade you kind of get is this pinky tone, and I had expected this on my light skin to look a little bit more vibrant. Instead, it pulls warm tone on me, which I don't like, because I use it along the top lash line, and it just doesn't have the amount of purple that I had expected it to have, judging by what it looked like in the pan. So when I use it on my eyes, I felt it pulled pretty red, and that can, like, that depends on your eye, like the color of your eyes, whether it's gonna look good on me, on you or not. With me, I don't like looks like this because from a distance, it's going to make my look very red and tired. It's not going to make them pop, or in fact, I feel that this look just kind of disappears with my brown eyes. It just doesn't do enough for me to really add to my complexion, and I've kept the look very neutral deliberately because I knew the undertones of these palettes would be so different that I wanted to make sure I had like a lip color on and a cheek color on that would go with everything, and that's really what's letting this down. I really need something more to make this more oomphy. The two shimmers in here, I like the white in the inner corner a lot better than I did in the previous palette. It went on beautifully with a brush. But this one, it felt really dry, and even with a finger, I just get a lot of sparse, sparkly bits, and I don't get a lot of the base color, I feel. The mattes are nice. I especially like this like mauve tone that it has. That's in the crease. That was okay. It didn't have the weird patchiness that the crease shade that I used in the previous look had, so that's a win for me. So the mattes in these palettes are nice. The shimmers are a bit, depending on what you like. but this one is just really missing a deepening up shade. Even to just use as liner, even if you don't like doing smoky eyes, having something that is depth, like deeper, and like a really nice eggplant or like plummy shade would have greatly helped this palette to really elevate it to the next level, I feel. We're gonna take off this look, and then we're gonna do the final one with the Heated Up palette. And that is the final Catrice Tiny Treasures eyeshadow palette in 030 Heated Up. I think this one was the most successful of the three in terms of how it applied. I put this really nice vibrant orange in the crease. I use this on the lower lash line together with a little bit of that same shade. Then this is on the liner shade, which this is the kind of depth that I would have wanted to have in the pinky toned one. This shimmer is beautiful, and it was the best one to apply with a brush because it barely needed anything from my fingers to make it go on smoothly. The only shade here that was a little bit chalky was this whitey beige shade. For the blending shade, it wasn't that good. And I did really like the inner corner highlight here as well. Is this the kind of eye look that I like to do on the day-to-day basis though? No, this is far too orange for my liking. I have gone past the point of liking all of these super duper warm tone things. If you love warm tones, this by far is the best one out of the bunch. Hi, it is the end of the day. I just got home, so I thought I could do a quick check-in to show you how this eyeshadow lasted and whether it actually lasted all day. It is about 7 p.m. now, and I put this eyeshadow onto my face around 11, so it's been 8 hours or so that this has been on, and as you can see, no creasing, the inner corner highlight is still there, no smudging along the lash line, which is great, so I do like the look of that. Yeah, this eyeshadow stayed on all day. I went out, I rode my bicycle in the rain, visited a museum, went to see The Brutalist. If you know anything about that movie, it runs for nearly 4 hours, so I've put this makeup through its paces for sure, and it's still on, so I just thought I could quickly come on here to show you the wear time of this eyeshadow. So let me get back to the clip where I close off the video. And overall, if I think of what all three of these give, they all give a very similar thing. So you definitely don't need to pick up all three. I think that's step number one. Step number two, the warm toned one is the best one, then the neutral one, and then the berry toned one, which I had expected to be quite fair because very often brands have no issues doing warm tones or neutrals. They can do those. They do them a million times over. But when they do like slightly different things from what they've done before, that's where they usually struggle. And I feel that that's the case with this lineup. I don't have the corresponding 5 in a boxes very close to me at the minute, so it's a bit difficult for me to dig them up. But I could still do like a comparison for you guys because I do have the color stories from the 5 in a box that line up with this. But from what I've experienced using the 5 in a box, I found those better than these ones. However, the 5 in a box ones you can no longer buy because I feel that Catrice has discontinued the 5 in a box to come up with these guys. So that's a bit of a shame. I don't think these hold a candle to what the 5 in a box had to offer. Those were far more blendable, easy to use shadows than these were. These require a bit more work, but it's fine. I mean, you can make a good eyeshadow look with these for sure. It's nothing too offensive. I like the looks that I created with this, but none of these color stories are necessarily my preference, you could say. And the ones that I was most excited for just had something a little bit wrong about it. But if you like very orangey, spicy tones, then this may be a good offering from the drugstore. I also feel that now that I have this look on, my base actually looks too light and I look too pale because of the oranges that are in here. I'm even looking a little bit yellow from this eyeshadow when I look in my mirror here. So no for me when it comes to the color selection. The quality is so-so, so I don't think these are necessarily going to be worth your money. Of course, I had hoped that these were like the best new thing that Catrice had done in terms of eyeshadow, and I don't feel that's the case necessarily. So are these okay for a drugstore price point for what these go for? I think they're still okay in a pinch. You can definitely make these work. They are workable eyeshadows, but they don't wow me. So do with that what you wish. I am a little bit more critical when it comes to products because I've tried so much over the years. So I know that Catrice can do better than this. I know they can, but whenever they reformulate, it's always a little bit of a gamble, you could say. Is this a good Catrice quality or is it not? And I'm veering to not with these ones. So I hope this video was informative for you, and then I hope to see you again very, very soon, because I do make 4 videos a week on this channel anyways. Thumbs up this video in the meantime if you liked it, and then I hope to see you very, very soon in a new video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.